All right. So I'm trying to do a little different editing process here and see if we can make a little bit better quality content for you guys as far as on the how-tos. So this is for my 1999 Tahoe blower motor resistor. So open up your glove box. The right side, just push in, it'll drop right down, and you'll just kind of give it a little tug and she'll pop right out. There is a factory retaining holder there. You may have to pop that out. So this is kind of where the fun begins. That was the easy part. It's not a bad job. It's just really frustrating little thing to get to. So see the flashlight there on the left. There's a 7mm. That's going to come out.
Just get a
nothing real technical. Easy basic tools. On the back of that, that's the 7mm there for the relay. Then that one's the back relay holder, 7mm also. That's the right side of the resistor, 7mm also. So I pretty much shot this video on my cell phone, sitting on a tripod. So you may get some hands and some arms in here, but it takes about 20 minutes, and trying to hold a camera or something to do this job is pretty much impossible. Well, not impossible, but to show you the whole thing at least. So 1/4 inch 7mm. You want to get that guy back there on the left. Pretty not a lot of room up there. So you'll see me struggling a few times trying to figure out flashlight, holding the ratchet, and looking at the cell phone to see if you guys can actually see anything. Sometimes not. Yeah, it is what it is. So enjoying me a cold beverage right now. So you get that little 7mm out. You can pull down your relay. And it's just got a little tab on there. You can use a screwdriver, a pick tool, whatever you want, just to pull it up out of the way. Press it down and pull the relay bracket, and she'll pop loose. You want to push the relay up to your left a little bit, because it is tied into the wires that go to the top of the resistor. So you just want to get that out of the way so you get a little bit more room to get the resistor element out. Again, fighting this for space. Trying to hold a flashlight. Yeah. Just it's just not fun. But every vehicle's got these little weird things like this. They're just not fun and pain in the butt. It's part of the process of doing your own repairs. So constantly fighting to reach around the phone and hold the flashlight so you guys can see. I think overall it took me about 20 minutes to replace it. So not real long, not real difficult, just kind of a pain in the butt. So you get the 7mm out, the back one there, and you're ready to start the fun process, getting the wires off the top of the resistor. So what you'll see here is the resistor, the wires that go to the top of it face to the left, or they're kind of straight at you. The release tab's on the left. I know you can't really see it with the flashlight. I didn't zoom in, but you'll get it. You'll get the idea when you look at it. If you try to get it from this position, it's just going to pull it out, and you're not really going to get a great angle on it. So what I did was I rotated it to the right so that the release tab is facing you. A little bit of a small struggle, just trying to cram your hand in there. Hello, arm. How you doing? So yeah, get it facing you. Need a long flathead screwdriver, or if you got real long pick tools, you can use those too. You're just gonna pry up on that release tab while holding down the flat surface of the resistor. And mine was a little bit stuck, so it took quite a few goes at it before it came loose. There's nothing on the bottom that you can pull on, so it's kind of just the way to do it. Just kind of tighten it a little bit. But once you get it clip loose, you can just kind of work the wiring harness up and down, up a little bit, side to side, and it'll kind of come loose, and then just push it back when you get there. I just recently hit 100 subscribers on my channel, so hopefully I can do a little bit more editing and help you guys out a little bit. I looked up this video on YouTube, and there's some decent ones, but none of them really showed you all of it very well. So I was trying to get a little bit more sight into it. So I guess in the comments down below, just let me know what you think. It helped you out a little bit, or too long of a video and the short ones were just fine, or whatever. Just give me some feedback. So yeah, still fighting this stupid thing. Hit the camera a couple times here and there. That's what this little job is. Just a little bit of a struggle, just because there's no space. Barely get your hand in there. So with that, once that's loose, just push it back a little bit. It'll be out of your way. It doesn't move real far. Now the resistor element itself, you're just basically just gonna have to pull it out. It does not come straight out. There's not enough height to go straight up with it. So it comes out. It's gonna rub on the way out, and that's just how it is. And it'll rub on the way in. There's no way to get it. No matter what angle you try, the elements are gonna rub. So I've actually already did this replacement. So you can see this is the new one. But I was like, after I saw the videos, I'm like, well, maybe I'll try to make a better video. Maybe it'll be better to some people, maybe not. So my old resistors weren't really that bad. I think it's going to end up being the switch and the dash. It just from bouncing around, it's just loose. So again, putting it back in there, you're going to bend them a little bit, just a hair, not much, eighth inch. There's no way to get it in there without hitting anything. So what I did was I just pretty much lifted it up and just look in to see if any of them are touching. And if they are, you just simply take your screwdriver and just kind of pull, push them away from each other, use your finger, whatever. Just make sure they're not touching. And you set it down, and then you're going to rotate it to the left. Maybe a little difficult, we'll see here in a second to see. But when you're rotating to the left, if it's sticking up more than a 1/16, eighth of an inch, you're not fully to the left, it'll kind of reseat itself and leave a little bit of a gap. That could be from the heater boxes being old. It doesn't really affect anything, because Lord knows you can hear that blower motor for, outside the truck running. So a little bit of air leak there is not that big of a deal. If you want, you can put some butyl rope on it, just to be a little bit more particular. But when you're putting the 7 mils back in, I was trying to use my fingers and the socket to set it back in there, and there's just no freaking room in there. So it's, yeah. So you basically get a pair of needle nose pliers and use that to set it into the hole. And then you can reach in with your hand and turn it a little bit until it gets snug enough that you can actually run the ratchet on it. But even then, it's still a pain in the butt. So you're just gonna have to fight with it a little bit. You can yell some "come on, mans," like, why would you do this? But like I said, all vehicles have these little nuances to them, whether it's struggles of starters, or I think my BMW, it was a 01 325i, that intake to get the starter, and that thing was just a silly process just for a starter. But yeah, you're just gonna fight with this. It's just part of the fun. I think this resistor cost about $28, something like that. So they're not real expensive. And I did, when you pull the wiring harness off of it, and if you rotate your switch, your blower switch on the dash, you can see the voltage on each wire. Then I think high has no voltage through that 4-wire harness. So if you want to check your voltage and make sure you got voltage coming to it, just to see if it's not the relay or the switch in the dash is bad itself. I was also able to take a jumper wire and a cordless drill and hit the motor with 12 volt in it, worked fine. So it either had to be this or the dash switch, which, like I said, I think it's the dash switch. So I ordered a new one, and I'll do a video on that when that part comes in. They're it's like 15 or 16 bucks on eBay just for the behind the panel switch, not the whole panel. I think the whole panel is like 50, 60 bucks for a used one. But yeah, just keep fighting it. Have fun with it. Use some choice words. Getting the relay in wasn't that difficult as far as putting that screw back in. The back of the relay bracket is open, so you can actually just take the needle nose pliers and just hold the screw in, get it, tighten it, rotate it a few times by hand, and then slide the relay bracket in. Not too terribly hard. Put the wires on, a little bit of pain just because you got no height and you got to come in at a little bit of an angle and just kind of push it down. I think I've had this Tahoe for, let's say, 6 or 7 years now. Not the best riding trucks, but I'll put it through a lot of work. There's a lot of flea markets and storage unit buying with it and all that stuff back and forth. Got my money out of it. I'll keep it for a pretty long time. Frame's pretty rust free. A bit of rust spots on the outside, which I'll probably fix this spring. But yeah, go ahead and pull your harness down, snap her in. See that one dead spot there? No pin. It doesn't want to lay flat, so when you slide it back in like in this position, it will not lay flat by itself. For some reason, I don't know why I didn't grab the needle and those pliers first, but you know, hey, it is what it is. So yeah, if you guys can comment down below, let me know how you like the video, too much detail, not enough, so forth. Just let me know. Again, just a little bit of a tight space, just fighting it. If you're left-handed, this probably be a little easier, since that on the right side, that blower housing hump gets in the way of your right hand getting in there. So that's the point where I realized you just get it started and then you just slide that back in there. Just trying to point that out, but getting the camera at the right height and angle, it's not ideal with the seat in the vehicle. And I wasn't about to pull the seat out just to get that little bit of a shot in. Yeah, but hopefully you guys get a better idea. For anybody that's experienced at doing their own repairs, you know, you'll see this right, you know, the first couple of minutes, be like, okay, I got it. So no major tricks here, just basic repairs. Try to show this in real time. Like I said, it should take you about 15-20 minutes. Not a big deal. Probably get a few slices on the back of your hand, but there's a couple pieces of metal right above where the latch is for the glove box. Don't go crazy on these 7mm. It's just in the old plastic, just hand tights. More than plenty. And put the last one in the 7mm in the relay. Obviously, if you want to, you can test the element before you put the 7mm back in. Once you put the harness, you can plug the relay back up, put the harness on it, and test it then if you really want to. Not really necessary in this scenario, just because it's either going to be a switch in the dash, this element, this resistor element, or the blower motor. Like I said, with the blower motor, you can take a cordless drill battery and pop it on the motor, and if it starts running, then you know it's not the motor. So then it would be just a switch or the resistor. So yeah, I mean, at this point, you're pretty much wrapping it up. Just put your glove box back in. I actually shot this 3 or 4 days ago, but not often that I get enough quiet time as far as not having the kids running around. when you're putting the glove box back in, I noticed, at least on mine, the bottom left one was a little bit of a fight, wasn't latching, wouldn't allow it to latch up. So just make sure you kind of put it down there and push it in. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching, and let me know in the comments.